We're one of the two countries in Europe which actually make uranium, produce uranium. So the only thing which we have is in Russia is enrichment and making of the pellets and of the completion of the fuel rods. But that's something you can transfer to other countries. Well, I did estimate for Security Council in 2007. And you basically need about 1 year to transfer the whole production to other place. And we have always a supply of fuel rods for at least 1.5 years on the power plants. So we don't see this as a threat. And you know, Russians really treat differently each of the countries. In our case, when they speak to us, for example, on gas, it's very different from the way they talk to Slovakia because we did our homework. We started to buy gas from Norway in 1997. In oil, we finished the pipeline from Germany in 1996. So when I speak with Miller or Medvedev in Gazprom, it's actually really basically a friendly talk. There is no way they can blackmail us, and it's the same with TVEL, the maker of the nuclear fuel. They know that we make our own uranium, they know that we have the know-how in the country, that Škoda actually makes much of the steel parts for the fuel rods. So I have no illusions about Russia. But at the same time, if you do your homework, if you are prepared, if you know what you can do at home, there is no reason to be scared.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm the Belgian ambassador. Coming to another type of questions, you expressed the concern that the know-how and expertise in nuclear energy is leaving Europe for other continents. But I think that Europe is also investing a lot in nuclear fusion energy. Can you elaborate about it? It's a faraway dream, but anyway.
Well, the project called ITER, which is the fusion project, is run jointly by European Union, Russia, US, China, Japan and South Korea. And I think that's a great promise. In the same time, please be aware that the project started just a few years ago, and the task is to prove in 40 years' time whether it's technically viable to have fusion in normal circumstances. Because at the moment we can do fusion only in tokamaks, in the magnetic field, which is not very, it consumes more energy than it produces at the moment. So we will see. There is still a huge amount of nuclear research in France, in Cadarache and ITER, and Jules Horowitz reactor. There is still some research in some other parts of Europe, which is good, but compared to the amount of money being invested elsewhere, it's not really that impressive. And it's, once again, you come back to the fact that much of the, most of the Nobel Prizes for science are not awarded to European scientists, or sometimes to European scientists, but they actually work in the US. And that covers not just basic science, but also applied science. I'm afraid that we Europeans, we have several research installations. One is on Lago di Como in Italy, there are others in Barcelona. We do invest some money in research, but not on the scale comparable to Americans and others. That's, US have 17 national laboratories, and if you look at the different fields of nuclear research, the Oak Ridge in Tennessee, the Idaho, or Berkeley in California, or other of the 17, the Los Alamos, the famous one, they simply are the cutting edge in most of the fields. And just like we did not invent internet in Europe, even though we invented the interface at CERN in Switzerland, with internet we were still able to be on par with the US and to be partners. For example, the browser idea came from Europe. In nuclear, you're still able to catch on in some fields, but not that many. So, and it's mostly today, mostly France, with some participation from other European countries, but I always tell my students, they are Americans, and they usually love Europe after spending one semester in Prague. I always tell them, well, Europe is cuddly and beautiful and nice, and European cities are great and girls are beautiful. But please compare the amount of Nobel Prizes awarded to US and European scientists. That's where the future is.